setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Á iðunni lúta epla geimi braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má kollun kalfegur dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Á iðunni lúta epla geimi braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má kollun kalfegur dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Á iðunni lúta epla geimi braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má klond halfegur dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má glönd halvfegrir dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Á iðunni lúta epla geimi braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má glönd halvfegrir dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Á iðunni lúta epla geimi braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má glönd halvfegrir dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Á iðunni lúta epla geimi braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má kollun kalfegur dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Á iðunni lúta epla geimi braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má kollun halvfegrir dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. Á iðunni lúta epla geimi braga kvána sko gefanda endur nýtt og líka má klond halvfegrir dán ég góma sem grósku setleika og langan þrótt og klátt líf vaxa sem var eftir vetur. sko gefanda Endur nýð þú líka máglund Halvfegrir þán ég og Masen grósku sett líka á klongan Þrótt og lát líf vaksa sem var eftir vetur Á íðunni lúta epla geimi braka kvána sko gefanda Endur nýð þú líka máglund Halvfegrir þán ég og Masen grósku sett líka á klongan Þrótt og lát líf vaksa sem var eftir vetur Á íðunni lúta epla geimi braka kvána sko gefanda Endur nýð þú líka máglund Halvfegrir þán ég og Masen grósku sett líka á klongan Þrótt og lát líf vaksa sem var eftir vetur Á klangan þrótt og lát líf vaksa sem var eftir vetur Á íðunni lúta epla geimi braka kvána sko gefanda Endur nýð þú líka mákollun Kalfegur þán ég og Masen grósku sett líka á klangan þrótt og lát líf vaksa sem var eftir vetur
Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to your Saturday morning, also true, Norse Pagan Heathen Prayer Service, presented by The Troth. My name's Gothi Ben Kowalski Greg. Glad to be here with you this morning. Broadcasting live all over the world. I want to apologize in advance. My voice is not what it usually is. I've gotten sick. I know it happens even though I pray twice every Saturday. Still, we get sick. So I am sick today. I have some herbal tea. I may cough a little bit during the service, but the beauty of online service, one of the beauties, is you guys don't have to get any of my germs. How's that? We can enjoy a prayer together and we don't have to enjoy my germs together. Delightful. All right. So telling you guys how this is going to go. If you haven't been here before, if you have, welcome back. If you've never been here before, if also this is your first contact with heathenry, I want to welcome you. I'm going to tell you what we're going to do. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to go through education. We're going to talk about this thing here to my right. This is what we call the threefold method, or what I call the threefold method. It's because it's around the number 3. And the way that we go through it, the way that I put it together, just to let you know ahead of time if we need to declare UPG, unverified personal gnosis. If you're new, That's a term that's thrown around a lot. It just means things that we have had to synthesize out of source material. This right here, this threefold method, this is completely synthesized from source material. So it's not directly extracted from a saga. It's not pulled from a runestone. It was synthesized by me over 20 years of practice. This is how I pray, and I'm going to show you that way. We're going to go through it together, step by step. Then we're actually going to do it together. You can play along at home if you want to. If you don't, and observe, that's okay too. And hopefully at the end of this, you'll have something to take on board with you as you go forward in your practice. At least a prayer that you can modify, adapt, and adopt as you so choose. I will be taking generous sips of tea. Good morning. Who is it we have there? Balin. I'm honored. Thank you for joining us. All right. Let's go through this over here, step by step. First thing, people want to know, which way do I face? This isn't necessarily listed on here, but I want to go through it because it is something people think about, and it's a hang up people have. Which way do I face when I pray? Is there a particular direction? I have an altar. You can see my little mug popping up. It's in front of me, so I am facing it. If you have an altar, you would face the altar. If you don't, there's a couple directions that I would recommend. One, and it depends on the position of the sun and where it's going. If the sun is coming up, or it's dawn or pre-dawn, right? Face east towards that rising sun. If the sun has set, or is setting, you would face north, east, and north. Those are the two directions. If you don't have an altar or an icon or something else to face, if you have one of those, please face that thing. Next, after we figured out which way to face, how do we open a prayer? We typically start with a space hallowing, or a making sacred of the space we are about to pray in. Think of it as spiritual cleanliness. Because look around me. There's a gym equipment back there. This is a gym. This is a office. This is a multi-purpose room. It's a basement. At the end of the day, this is a basement. This is not holy space all the time. What we're doing here is we are making it holy space for the purpose of our prayer and what we're going to do. That's the way to think of it. So, spiritual cleanliness. Now, a lot of you guys out there who are old school, if you're new to this, you might not have seen this before, but if you're old school, you know. The way that we used to do this, and some still do it to this day, is the hammer right. You know what I'm talking about? Hammer in the north, hail and hallow this holy stead. Hammer in the east, hail and hallow this holy stead. That one feels a bit high magic to me, and it should, because it came to us from our long interaction with Wicca. It mimics the calling of the corners or the calling of the watchtowers. So it's a little bit of a blend. Again, little high magic for me. And Hammerite never quite sat right with me. So since this is my practice, I'm not going to do it. Another thing folks do is they'll have a candle or a lantern or a torch, even if they're outside. They will light it and they'll circumambulate the space. Walk around it while chanting or something like that. they'll do that. Now, I think that's great, but for me and for our purposes, probably like demonstration, right hand now touching a desk, my left hand is now touching a wall. That is how much space I have. I do not have the space to circumambulate, and I'm betting probably neither do you, unless you have some dedicated ritual space in the backwoods of Idaho or something. Somewhere where you actually have space to walk around. I live in a city. I do not have that kind of space. Oh, hello, Madrid. Hello, Madrid again. Welcome back. All right. So I don't have the space. In Madrid, I am willing to bet you probably don't have the space either. Madrid is also a pretty big city. Not a lot of space. Lots of apartments. So probably have about as much space as I do. So what do? Keep it simple. I took a tip from our friends from the East, our Hindu friends, our Buddhist friends. Grab myself a little singing bowl. You can do this with anything that rings or dings. Bell, if you've got a bell handy. Or if you've got nothing at all, you can clap. We will do that 3 times. One thing that I want everyone to realize is that Norse pagan prayer, Asatru prayer, heathen prayer, does not require implements. We don't need to gather the swag before we pray. We don't need that. So it's not necessary to do. You can pray without an altar. Again, face the directions that I talked about, east if rising, north if setting. And you don't need a bell or anything like that. You can just clap your hands. So I want to emphasize that to you guys. Asatru prayer is not a collection of swag. Swag is great. Our articles of worship are wonderful. Our articles of devotion are great. But you don't need to feel like you need to buy a bunch of stuff before you can actually get started. You can get started today if you want to. If you haven't already. All right. So now we've cleansed our space. The next thing I will do is I'll bow towards the altar, and then I'll come to kneeling and do a blessing of myself. I'll touch my hand to my forehead, say, bless my thoughts. Touch my hand to my throat, say, bless my words. And extend my hands in front of me and say, bless my deeds. It's a little blessing I picked up. I think I picked that up from a little bit from the Sigdrifamal, but also it was from a friend of mine who practices Zoroastrianism. I thought that was a neat little blessing. That a nice little way to, I see Christians crossing themselves, right, when they do their prayer, and I thought, oh, that's kind of neat. Could do something like that. Next. So after we do our little blessing, this then begins the prayer proper. And now we're going to actually pray. So what do we say? Number one question that we get in Asatru, because prayer for a lot of us who are coming from a Christian background, prayer is something that we speak. Not really something not a lot of motion to it. Asatru prayer for me is different. There's a lot of motion to it, but I understand the thing where, you think I bow my head, I pray, I lift my head, and I'm done. For me, it's a lot more physically involved. But getting to the words, and the words are still there. What do we say during prayer? I wish I could tell you that there is a fully complete prayer that we pulled out of the sagas and we repeat it to this day, something like the Lord's Prayer or something like that, or a chant of some kind like Om Namah Narayan. No, we don't have those. We do, however, it's not hopeless. We do have a large body of poetry, and within those poems, there are verses that a lot of us have taken on as prayers. The one that a lot of us have memorized is the Sigdrifamal. And I keep getting the number of the verses it is. I'm now going to say it's 3 and 4. Stanzas 3 and 4. Where the Valkyrie awakens and she starts by speaking, "Hail day, hail sons of day." And then the next verse starts with, "Hail the gods, hail the goddesses." And it goes from there. Those two verses are pretty well known, I would say, in this pagan community. So a lot of us know it, a lot of us repeat it, a lot of us have it memorized. I see no reason not to use it here. So I'll speak the first verse, "Hail day, hail sons of day," and then I'm going to prostrate. That means going full face down, hands down. And I come back up, speak the second verse, "Hail the gods, hail the goddesses," full face down, hands down, and back up. And then it's time for free verses. So free verse means I could hail whichever god or goddess I choose. And today I'm going to be hailing Thor for a friend and brother in service, Tim Adams, who is sick in the hospital, and our entire community is wishing him well and health. And I know he's sick too. Sounds like with a more severe version of what I have. So I'm wishing him healing. I'm wishing him all the best as he's stuck in a hospital. So Tim, your community's here for you, and we are going to pray for you this morning. Other than that, I'm going with my guy Thor. If anyone in the chat has any suggestions or they'd like a prayer spoken for someone, please go ahead and put it in the chat. I'll try to come up with something off the top of the dome. I don't have you certainly can write down your prayers. I have never done so, and it's not because of some kind of aversion to writing stuff down. It's purely because I keep forgetting. All right, Michelle says, "Hail Air." I think that's appropriate. Probably appropriate. Air working overtime lately. All right, thank you, Michelle. I will add in Air as well as Thor. So that will be 4 verses total. Now, you do not have to speak only one verse per god or hail all of the gods in every single verse. You don't. You could even hail one god in as many verses as you like. You could hail Thor. You could do a verse for Thor 9 times. Different verse, same verse, doesn't matter. At this point, it is totally up to you how much time you have and how much of a devotional practice this is for you. If you are particularly devoted to Thor, it's a special holiday, maybe you do want to do extra verses, prostrations. That's why this is adjustable. After that, I like to do a 1 to 2 minute meditation. To me, prayer, sacrifice, all this is our encounter with the divine. It is our encounter with the gods. It is us meeting the gods, standing or kneeling before the gods. In that encounter, we align ourselves to them. And from that alignment, what I hope that people, what I meditate on is how to take this encounter and take it out into the world, outside of this holy space. How to take it out of this holy space, bring it into the world through pursuing wisdom, speaking kindly and truthfully, and doing good, healing, restorative deeds. So not just, I want to emphasize this because this came up recently. When we say something like healing hands, good deeds, what we specifically mean is in heathenry, going to be a little bit of an off ramp. I'll get to it. It's just some stuff I saw on TikTok. What we mean is that goodness for us is not merely defined as non-harm. It means active repair and restoration of harm. So It is not merely that we do not harm, it is also that we repair and restore that which has been harmed. That is an important thing for heathens, I think, to understand. When we talk about good deeds, we don't just mean not hurting anybody. We mean healing, restoring, repairing what has been hurt. Okay. Now, after doing that meditation, I'll stand and do 2 bows. That's our 3 bows. And then we're done. And then we can get on to questions and answers. All right. Are we ready? Any final requests for prayers? Anyone? Seeing none. All right. We got Thor. We got Air. Let's get started. And the steps will appear on the screen just in case you're following along at home. Bless my thoughts, bless my words, bless my deeds. All right, should be up on your screen now. Let's do this together if you want to. Hail day, hail sons of day, hail night and her daughter. Look upon us with kind eyes, as we who are patient find peace. Hail the gods, hail the goddesses, hail the ever-giving earth. Bless us with wisdom and kind words and healing hands, lifelong. And now for our free verses. Verse to Thor. Hail Thor. Hail our healer and our restorer. Hail our protector and our sustainer. O Thor, come to our brother Tim Adams in his time of need and his family. Heal him, restore him, and protect them all. As you drive illness out of their bodies. Hail Air, hail Healing Maiden, hail best and most careful of physicians. Air, guide the hands of the doctors, the nurses, that they may give us healing, that they be rightly guided, and return us once again, restore us once again to health. All right, now let's take 1 to 2 minutes and we're just going to meditate. Once again, we're thinking about prayer, offering, what we're doing as the divine encounter. We are standing before the gods in this moment. What are we going to do to take this moment of holiness, this moment of encounter with the gods, and bring it out to the world through our thoughts, words, and deeds? Let's start. Thank you all for joining us for that. Now let's stand, bow twice more, and then we're going to finish up with some Q&A. Thank you all so much for joining us. That's heathen prayer. That's all I know. You've reached the limit of my knowledge. Thank you all for being here this morning. I know it's early for a lot of us here in the States. It's about 6 a.m. here on a Saturday, and I am sick. but it feels good to be here with you in this moment. Now, if you had any questions or anything like that on Asatru, heathenry, Norse paganism, you have a go here. Oh, you're welcome, Michelle. Alan, you are welcome. You are, of course, more than welcome to this anytime. Again, well, maybe not anytime, but the times when we do it. We'll be back again tonight and next Saturday as well. So thank you for coming, and thank you guys for being a part of this. I appreciate the ability to do this, and I appreciate, you know, anyone who attends as well. Thank you. I hope it does some good. My playlist, it is all music that I put into an AI to generate, because the royalty-free music modules that I kept trying to use for this would not work. So I ended up having to make it myself using some of the mantras that I've come up with, feeding them into it, and then producing what it could produce. So I hate to use AI, but of course I'll give out whatever I need to give out for free. It doesn't matter to me. Oh, Balin, that's great. Yeah, but again, I wish I could give you a playlist for this. It's not on Spotify. It's not on anything like that. I'm perfectly good to share these music files with people if they want them. Again, it's just stuff that I had to produce because I wanted to have some Norse background music, and I could not get the royalty-free modules to work, so I made it myself. Thus ends like my limited usage of AI. Did we have other questions? Yeah. Oh, I see we reached time. Well, how about that? Well, thank you guys so much for being here. I do appreciate every single one of you for coming. Once again, we will be here every Saturday at 6 a.m. Central, at 8:30 p.m. Central. Although tonight it's going to be a little bit later because we have a community organizing class that I'm teaching with the Troth. So I'll be on just a little bit later than that. So again, thank you guys so much for being here. Appreciate it.